It's really three pillars. So it's the game, it's esport at the base, and it's real digital ownership. And to be honest, yeah, we have to talk about this. It's not a fucking NFT game, to be honest. We have to clarify this. But let's start with the game.
All right, everyone. Welcome first and foremost to the RENNSPORT Summit. This is a pretty exciting thing. It's a pretty exclusive crowd. It's a pleasure to be here personally in Munich, obviously, to walk you through. I did say it's pretty exclusive, although I did say they let Gamer Muscle into the building, so I don't know how exclusive it really is. But no, this is very cool. And as I do see some of you, most of you hopefully know me. If you don't, my name is Matthew Trivett, Sadokist. I've been doing a lot of the stuff within esports in the last, I don't know, 10 years, and then obviously in Simracing more and more over the last 2 or 3 years. And I know why all of you are here. It's because you're all greedy and want to sink your teeth into a new game before everyone else. But there is a much bigger reason as to why we're here, which is what we're going to talk about now, introduce the evening. We'll get into what we're doing over the next few days and give you guys a bit of an idea of what to expect from RENNSPORT. But I'm not the best person to tell you that. Morris is. Morris is the CEO and co-founder with RENNSPORT, the man behind this project. And it really is a lot bigger than just this summit, than just putting out a game. There's a whole concept behind this that's extremely unique.
Definitely, yeah. So there is much more behind than a game, and yeah, it would be great to show it to you and get your feedback, how you really feel the game and what it gives to you.
You got into the concept and started going into it with me, and it is quite a different approach. I mean, even having this, as I say, this exclusive crowd, the people here, all of you should be proud to be here just in the fact that they were hand-selected. You wanted feedback from a certain group, user group, from the very beginning in alpha, long before the release. You're not doing this last minute. So I'll let you kind of introduce all of that, because I think it is, even from outside of Sim, this is a very different way to roll out a game.
It's definitely totally different. So I'm coming from the games industry, and normally we are trying to show as less as possible, only showing screenshots or whatever. So it's really completely different what we are doing at the moment. So we are showing an alpha version, and we really would like to have your feedback, because it's the most important thing for us to develop the game and go in the right direction to create a great product at the end. It's also a bit risky, but we take the risk because for us it's more important to learn and really to hear what's necessary to do the next step.
Yeah, as you say, there's more than just the concept of taking the risk and getting a new game out there. It's the approach of doing it, the partnerships behind it, and the overall vision, I think, that you have that is, again, beyond just the game creation.
Definitely. So maybe we have to go back a bit to, I would say it was 2018 when I really came back to digital motorsport and sim racing. So I worked for Codemasters beginning of 2000, and then we established DTM brand, and we made these games I think quite good. So that was the time when I was really involved with sim racing and racing, and I really loved it and enjoyed it. And then, yeah, there were several other things. And in 2018, I came back and saw there's a great sport, there are great drivers, there are great teams, and I really loved to see the broadcast which was made. And then I realized, okay, but there are really not that much fewer on all these channels. So I saw amazing events, and there were only 200 or 300 viewers on the channel, and I started really thinking about what happened, because there's such a huge potential on all this sim racing, and the game's looking really good. But what is the problem? Why they are not getting or doing the next step? And so we really start thinking about and analyzing what is possible, or what is needed to make the next step. And then we realized there are good games, but they're all based on an old source code. So the source code was 10, 15 years old, and it was not able really to implement new things, implementing mobile stuff and implementing stakeholders, partners, which platform, so that they could connect, and all these things, they were not possible. And a second thing was, there were a lot of stakeholders involved, and they create nice events. There were a lot of automobile companies made nice events with their own brands, but there was no forced, I would say nothing together. So, and that was a bit the idea when we start thinking about what do we need to do the next step. And it ends up a bit with there is not the right game, and as a heart of all, we really need a new game. And so the decision was close, really, to say, let's try it from scratch. So let's think about what would we need if we really could make the best game we would like to have to do the next step. And then we start doing this and creating the ideas, and yeah, that's how it starts.
Yeah, and this was we talked about this morning, obviously, you and I, before this all kicked off, so we knew what we were going to talk about tonight in general, but this was kind of where it hit, that the game was almost the secondary idea. A lot of games come out, and the game is the primary product, and esports or competition is a secondary aspect that is a byproduct of the game's success. This was very much, you were looking for a way to develop, promote sim racing, as you say, talent, but no viewers necessarily, that matched the product. And the game, doing it yourself, became a piece of the puzzle, which I think is, that to me hit differently and resonated differently, because that's extremely different. It's usually not esports driven, it's esports byproduct, and this is all new.
It's definitely, so that's a core idea. So at the heart, in the middle, you need a great sim racing game. So that's the anchor for everything. So that's what we are doing first, and it's also necessary using new technology and all possibilities which you have, creating APIs, having partners involved, doing good things to make a great broadcast, having modders involved and giving them a chance to be involved and maybe monetize what they really do. So there's, I think, also publishing come on the next level, so things will change there. And be prepared for all these things. It was necessary really to create something from scratch. And that's what we did. It's risky, but I'm quite sure for the next step of sim racing, you need a product which is more than a game. So we split it up a bit. So first we start developing the game. So that starts 2020. So there we have, at the moment, I think 40 team members. So that works quite well. So that's the part you could really see today and you could test today. And then we have a second team which is really working on the mobile integration and everything. And then we're also working on the platform so that we really have the technical base to have all the APIs to get connected with partners and really creating ideas we have regarding business-to-business possibilities so that business partners really could be deeply involved into the whole system, having the possibility, getting social channels involved and streaming on the easy way, creating your own sim leagues. Maybe we could talk a bit the team, so which is behind. So from the beginning, really, Adam was with me. Adam is one of the 50+ Activision employees, so he was involved in this company very early. Then he was exclusive producer for this Forza brand with Microsoft. So really love to work with him. So we know each other for a very long time. Then at the beginning of this year, Claudio joined the team. He was the former managing director of Schalke Esports. So he brought up all the esport things on Schalke side. So he's really a great part for all the esport things, and he's also coming from the sports, from the football. Extremely important for us really to learn about these things. So and then there are a lot of more team members we have. So Christoph is with us at the show. It's our lead developer. So maybe tomorrow there's time to jump into a question session. So if there are more questions regarding all the development and all these things, so Christoph would be happy to answer this. And on top we are growing every month at the moment. So I think it's around about 45 team members. So yeah, we are on the way, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say.
Maybe some words to my person. So I'm in the gaming industry since more than 25 years. So I start working for Acclaim Entertainment. I don't know, maybe you're all too young to know this company. But then I worked for a long time for Codemasters, and at this time we established several racing titles like Dirt, DTM Racing, and it was the first time that I was really deeply involved in these sim games, and Simracing was a great time. So I enjoyed it a lot. Then I set up my own publishers. We were not that close to racing. But in 2018, I really came back, and I now really love this opportunity and the possibility to create something new.
This is the slide I was alluding to earlier. So these are kind of your three tiers and where you guys want to make a difference. And I think there's some unique one at the end as well with the real digital ownership, which we'll get to, but let's focus on the game first.
Perfect. Yes, that shows a bit how we really think and what the vision is. It's not only the game, it's really three pillars. So it's the game, it's esport as a base, and it's real digital ownership. And to be honest, yeah, we have to talk about this. It's not a fucking NFT game, to be honest. We have to clarify this. But let's start with the game. So yeah, that's as I said. So we start working on the game because it took really a very long time to develop a great sim racing game, having a great physics and all things really we would like to have. So that was the first part where we start developing. It was end of 2020. So we have a great team working on this, an experienced team. And during COVID time, a lot of new team members joined us from around the world, so that's really great to see. And what we really did, we start developing the game from the first day was really having in mind that we would like to have it optimized for all the esport things. And therefore, it's 2 years ago, I think, I had the first contact with ESL. And I spoke to ESL at this time and really showed the project and really gave them our idea and our vision, and they really liked the idea and said, okay, that's great to be involved that early and really help to developing a new game. So we get a lot of input from that side, and it helps us a lot really to understand what is necessary to create a great esport game. So that really helps a lot, and that's a bit the spirit we have. Involving people from all sides, really to learn what's necessary to create a new product. So that's really the mindset we have. And then there's the third pillar called real digital ownership. Yeah, and that really, when our website came up in May, that was released in May, we get a lot of great feedback, but this part was really where we all a bit struggling in our communication, because we get the feedback, oh my God, what are these guys, where are these guys coming from? It's a fucking tech company who would like to raise money with NFT shit and so on. It was a bit, yeah, I not really realized that there is that much I would say rumor outside was this idea. Maybe I can explain a bit what we have in mind. Real digital ownership for me shows the next level of publishing. So this is really publishing and developing comes from, so we start 20, 25 years ago, we had 20, 30, 50 people sitting in a studio creating content, doing a game. Then we were in an area where really user-generated content really came up and really allows publishers to create money with content from the community. And this content, most of the time, was never really legalized, and the owner and the creator never get really something back for that. And I believe that the next step in publishing and developing games is really real digital ownership. And that means all stakeholders are deep involved, and all stakeholders are owners of their rights, and they could monetize their rights, especially for modders that really means they create content, and this content is worth something. And it's not, for me, it's not okay really if the publisher sells games and the community buys the games because they would like to have the free content. So there's not a match. So I think it's important to create something on the technical side, and this is for me real digital ownership, where really content creator could earn money with their IP and really creating a platform where you could legalize your content. And that's what we would like to do.
And we touched a little bit on this earlier as well, and this kind of goes to a skins aspect in like a Dota or a League of Legends or a Counter-Strike, where there is those transactions within a game and they have their own marketplace. You guys are looking to do something similar, but it's not so much just a visual, it's, as you described it, the EFIN, an actual chassis number for each individual car. Yeah. They'll have a logbook, so to speak. Example I'll give is you could be a customer racer right now with BMW and buy an M4 GT4. Sure, if you're on the customer list, you can all get one, but you may not get the one that won the Nürburgring 24-hour with that logbook, with its history. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is one part of these things. So there's the modding part and all the content creators, but there's also a part in the business-to-business area. And also there's an opportunity for all the teams and drivers. So they really can build history on cars. So they can build history on cars in that way that we really, with the EFIN, your only car is really existing once. And so if you win a tournament, you could ever say this car wants the tournament, and that's the history on the car, and the team owns the car, and so they could sell it or have it in their garage or whatever. But that's the first time you could really create history on cars, and you could create history for drivers and so on. And that's a bit the idea on this side for the teams and for the drivers. And for all the business partners, there's the opportunity really to release cars in the real world and build a bridge and say you could have your digital twin on the platform, and you could have your digital car there. And to be honest, that's nothing which is connected to NFT. We will decide to use the right technology to make that happen. And the vision for us is that what I try to explain.
Now, with community and esports, as you mentioned, you talked about some of the partners that you have. The one that's obvious on the floor and that's in the room, ESL. That's a pretty huge strategic partnership to have for specifically esports.
Yeah, to be honest, I know not that much about esports, so it was great to have ESL involved that very early and learn a lot what is really necessary to create a game and develop a game which is perfect for esport, perfect for events, and that's why we're working together, yeah.
Yeah, so Benny, obviously you work with, and I won't say the full title, they'll kill me at ESL for not knowing it all, but brand management and partnerships globally with ESL, and therefore we're involved pretty early with these conversations. Maybe introduce yourself and tell us why ESL is such a good partner for this.
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, first of all. So yeah, I'm in the Global Brand Partnerships team, and I work also on the auto category, so internally speaking to partners like BMW, like Porsche, etc. And yeah, we first like to start off with giving you a little bit of intro on ESL with a little video, and then we'll talk a little bit about what we're all about and why we're here.
Came from the darkest regions, wrapped in a cloak of light. Minus of focus heights, I'm trying to get my opens right. Throw my doubts aside, I climb the mountainside. And when I reach the peak, the view I see will not be fly. Feel the pressure, but it's relative to the man I measured. No time for hesitation, finally time to step up. And when you're feeling deep in your bones and it's on your fed up, you're close to the glass ceiling, keep your head up. See your dreams as a goal, that's how I'm seeing mine. Achieve my full potential, let all of the demons pre my shine.
I think that's a pretty perfect video to sum it up. No one really does esports better than ESL. I've been fortunate enough to be in most of those events, actually, and yeah, it's something special that ESL is able to put on, and at a production level, it's incredible. The passion, it's all there, as you say. It's all there in esports. How do we get it to sim racing? And it goes beyond just the sort of the shiny wheel of those events for ESL. There's a lot in the background that you guys bring to the table, from player management to server setup to logistics, event coordination. All of that really is going to be a benefit, surely, to RENNSPORT.
Yeah, so I'll talk first a little bit about our purpose. So the purpose that we have is creating a world where everybody can be somebody. So it's quite an inclusive approach to this community, because basically, you know, if you're sitting at home, you're playing and you're good at your game, we can take you on that journey on becoming a pro player over time quite easily. And so if you can accelerate at your game, we're basically, you know, the force that can help you get to the top level of esports. And yeah, we've been around for more than 20 years. We really sit at the heart of the whole entire esports ecosystem. So that means we're speaking to the publishers, we're speaking to the teams. We actually have, you know, for the larger franchises, we have them as part of our business relationship, and yeah, having our own merch, etc. So, and yeah, really organizing the biggest esports events out there.
Obviously, Morris, you would have considered, surely, I mean, I know it makes sense, you're both in Germany and it all lines up, but there's other partners. Why was ESL such a standout to you guys?
Yeah, there are a lot of things why we really decide to go with ESL. First of all, for me was I could talk German to the first contact person I had.
I did allude to that.
And it makes it really easy for me to explain what our vision is. No, but at the end, ESL is really a well-known brand worldwide, and we really saw how they organize events and how they really manage that. And it's also the idea really to have big esports team involved into the sport. So really bringing things together and doing the next steps. And therefore, we thought it is a great decision to have ESL on board and really learn a lot how they do it and work with these guys together for all the event things and sporting things. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, and as it says, together you're creating the future of virtual racing. It's a bigger concept than just the game. It's really about promoting esports. Thank you both, Morris and Benny. I know you guys want to get straight into the game and try it.